Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And yes, once more, the police are not your friends. Here we have yet another policeman, this time accused of 44 different S offences. He's in the diplomatic police, but he isn't being very diplomatic, is he? Let's look at this article. So, Met Diplomatic Protection Officer 47, accused of 44 S offences against 12 different women, has custody extended ahead of his February trial. PC David Carrick, 47, denies all 44 offences against these 12 women from 2003 to 2020. So here we have an officer in the diplomatic police. For 17 years, he was committing a whole series of offences, and he's only just come into court now. This is the police through and through. Why is he not being regularly vetted? He's doing diplomatic protection. These policemen need to be the single most vetted police. It's unbelievable. He remains in custody ahead of the trial on February the 6th, which will take about 8 weeks. And extending his custody limits today, a judge says they will expire on February the 13th. Carrick worked at the Met's Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command. So it should have been one of the most protected, one of the most vetted policemen in the country. And yet he was allowed to get away with this crime, or these crimes, over 17 years. 44 different offences. One woman must have complained. Out of those 12, one must have complained at some point. That alone should have sparked an immediate, thorough, rigorous examination. Carrick, who was part of the Met's Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command, was a specialist officer who used to work on the parliamentary estate. He has denied multiple counts of SOs, including 21 charges of R. The Met, well, he can deny it, but I wouldn't doubt it. The first accusation against him is that he R-ed a woman in a hotel room on September the 5th, 2020, after a Tinder date. The charges also include allegations that Carrick, who's been suspended by the Met, R-ed one woman in the woods and SA'd another. What a sick bastard. The indictment alleges that some women were repeatedly R-ed, SA'd and forced to perform degrading acts by Carrick, while one woman is said to have been falsely imprisoned in a cupboard under the stairs. Here he is, and I don't doubt it. We know that the police are absolutely filled with people like this. Carrick appeared at the Old Bailey today via video link from Rampton Hospital wearing a black t-shirt. Mrs Justice Chi McGrubb extended his custody limit until the February the 13th. She said, "This is an application to extend the custody time limits which expire presently on the 11th of November. The case is listed to be heard for trial on February the 6th next year at Southwark Crown Court. And the custody time limits will be extended to respect of all charges to a week beyond that date to February the 13th, 2023. Carrick will face trial for 21 counts of R, as well as 9 counts of SA, 5 counts of assault by 3 counts of coercive and controlling behaviour, 2 counts of false imprisonment, 2 counts of attempted R, and 1 count of attempted SA by penetration, and 1 count of causing a person to engage in SA without consent. He denies all charges, but he wouldn't he? Carrick was remanded in custody until his trial date. But the fact that this went on, the question in the trial also needs to be, how did he get away with this for so damn long? It is disgusting that he's done it. It's disgusting that he's got away with it. And if someone did know, is it that job attracts the very worst of people? And nobody is doing any kind of background checks. I did a video recently where it was shown that people who failed to pass the background checks could appeal, and in nearly half the occasions they appealed, they got through. That should be a failure. Should be a failure for life. They were looking at people with criminal convictions were becoming policemen. How on earth is that even possible? We are letting the nation down. If we have policemen who are anything other than completely and rigorously vetted, then we are basically signing a check to criminality at all levels. We know they're corrupt. We know they are inept. we know they are lazy. But when we are employing, at public expense, people who do this over that extended period of time, and there's no way people didn't know about this, it tells you, it undermines, not only undermines the police, it undermines the entire justice system of this country. The police are not fit for purpose. And every time something happens, its lessons will be learnt. But the lessons aren't bloody well learnt because it keeps happening. And the only way at all ever that any kind of lesson will be learnt is if a senior officer or a senior officer's team as well lose their jobs. It needs to happen. You need to make an example. You need to set out what will happen to senior officers if they fail to vet their junior officers. And especially in a specialist unit like the Diplomatic Protection Team, they must be purer than the driven snow. And the fact that this isn't happening shows it's a systemic problem in the police. We know the corruption is systemic, but is this kind of malfeasance, is that systemic too? It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me if it was. But anyway, I shall just let my head whirl about this, and I shall keep fighting the good fight. We need a better police force. So, thank you very much for listening. I'll end now. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future outputs. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't trust a policeman, and goodbye.